When it comes to CEOs, you think leader, boss, head of, and other things like that. You don't typically think delusional, stupid. There's lots of other words I could put there, but we're basically going to jump straight into this one. The president or CEO of Square Enix has come out and published an article. It's a New Year's letter from the president. And I've never read so much rubbish in my entire life. The fact that this was even thought of is pathetic. None of it makes sense, and it just goes to show that gaming as a form of entertainment is gone. In terms of AAA stuff, is gone forever. You will probably never ever see a AAA title come out of a big company ever again that's made for entertainment purposes. In a way, that's kind of good, because the indie games that are made from passion, that have the smaller teams, will become bigger. These AAA games are going downhill, and going downhill fast, because the CEOs do not care about anything other than money. So jumping into this New Year letter from the president, and you have to bear in mind with this one, Square Enix are the publishing company for Marvel's Avengers that at one stage was reported to have lost the company around $50 million. So, the metaverse was a hot topic in 2021, inspiring a lively global conversation first about what the metaverse is and then about what sort of business opportunities it presents. Another term that gained quick currency in 2021 was NFT, or non-fungible token. I see 2021 not only as Metaverse Year 1, but also as NFT Year 1. Given that it was a year in which NFTs were met with a great deal of enthusiasm by a rapidly expanding user base. I mean, yeah, outside of video games, correct. Inside video games, how many NFTs did Ubisoft get rid of in Ghost Recon Breakpoint? We take a look at this, and Ubisoft's in-game NFTs fail, making only $400. Yeah, they can barely pay one person a week's worth of wages for a minimum wage job on the amount of money that Ghost Recon Breakpoint's NFTs made. So, being met with a great deal of enthusiasm, yeah, see, that's where the delusion starts. We do observe examples here and there of overheated trading in NFT-based digital goods with somewhat speculative overtones, regardless of the observed value of the content provided. This obviously is not an ideal situation, but I expect to see an eventual right-sizing in digital goods deals as they become more commonplace among the general public, with the value of each available content corrected to their true estimated worth, and I look for them to become as familiar as dealings in physical goods. I mean, you have so many security issues and stuff. I think there was one of them ape things, and someone stole it or something, and there's millions and millions of dollars at risk with these NFTs. It's not all 100% safe, and bringing them to video games, just don't even bother. Just stop being so fucking stupid. It's actually ridiculous that these AAA CEOs think that this is a good idea. It's bad enough having predatory microtransactions. People that want to play games are not going to sit there and spend thousands of dollars on one piece of fucking gear. But carrying on, to address these changes, the medium-term business strategy that we unveiled in May 2020 identified AI, the cloud, and blockchain games as new domains on which we should focus our investments. And we have subsequently been aggressive in our R&D efforts and investments in those areas. The firm's R&D efforts focus primarily on natural language processing, world models, and simulation technology. These efforts will help us develop the games that we release into the world and enhance their overall quality. But that is not all. By incorporating the output of these R&D efforts into virtual avatars and elsewhere, we plan to apply that output to a wide variety of content and provide the relevant technology to other companies with a view to leveraging these R&D efforts across our entire digital entertainment business. entertainment. By sitting there and spending a shitload of money on a piece of fucking art, or in games a piece of gear that you have the unique version of, or whatever, that's not entertainment. You cannot use any of this bullshit to enhance the overall quality of your video game. You're going to make the game worse. Your developers are going to have to sit there and create all of this stuff in order for you to give away or for you to sell or whatever, and it's going to take away from resources and time from developing the actual video game itself. And 2021 and a few years before have been dreadful for video games because the companies do not give a shit. The publishing companies and just the higher ups within game development studios rush their developers to get the job done and release broken products. I get that it's a business, but this isn't the way to carry on. Things need to change. These NFTs need to piss off, and they need to go away faster than Stalker 2 decided against them after originally saying they were going to put them in. It took them a couple of days. They were like, no, we're going back on our word. We're not putting them into our game. All these other companies need to do the same thing. Drop the NFTs. 1, you're not going to make money. 2, you're going to waste time on development for the video game itself. 3, you're going to push all your fans away. 4, your business is going to go bankrupt. At some stage, obviously they're multi-billion-dollar companies. It's not going to happen with them going bankrupt overnight. It will be eventually 10, 15, 20 years time even. They won't be able to create games anymore because nobody will give a shit about what they're releasing. But it carries on to say, we are exploring potential efforts in the cloud space from 2 primary perspectives. As these trends continue, I believe that the content we provide will become more accessible, making it more likely that our customers will discover enjoyment as we gain new touchpoints with them. Your customers that are purchasing your video games are not going to find enjoyment in these NFTs and stuff. Blockchain games, be they single player or online games. Games have traditionally involved a unidirectional flow whereby creators such as ourselves provide a game to the consumers that play them. By contrast, blockchain games, which have emerged from their infancy and are at this very moment entering a growth phase, are built upon the premise of a token economy, and therefore hold the potential to enable self-sustaining game growth. Because as if CEOs are not lazy enough already, sitting around bossing people around, just earning money. Now they want them to be self-sustaining games. The driver that most enables such self-sustaining game growth is diversity, both in how people engage with interactive content like games and in their motivations for doing so. Advances in token economies will likely add further momentum to this trend of diversification. I see the play-to-earn concept that has people so excited as a prime example of this. So NFTs might come into these games that are completely free, but have stupid requirements to get your hands on them, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, with one of them NFTs requiring you to play 600 hours of the game. People aren't going to sit there and do that shit. If they are, they're stupid. Oh, you get this helmet for playing 600 hours. Oh, if you kill 50,000 enemies, you get a pair of trousers. Keep your fucking trousers and shove your helmet up your ass. I realise that some people who play to have fun, well yeah, that's what video games are designed for, but I realise that some people who play to have fun and who currently form the majority of players have voiced their reservations toward these new trends, and understandably so. However, because I don't pay attention to anyone or anything, I believe there's going to be a certain number of people whose motivation is to play to contribute. You help me make money. You contribute to my bank balance, my private island, my yachts, my helicopters. By which I mean to help make the game more exciting. It doesn't work like that. And you're a fucking idiot for thinking it does. Traditional gaming has offered no explicit incentive to this latter group of people, who are motivated strictly by such inconsistent personal feelings as goodwill and volunteer spirit. This fact is not unrelated to the limitations of existing UGC, so user-generated content. UGC has been brought into being solely because of individuals' desire for self-expression, and not because any explicit incentive existed to reward them for their creative efforts. I mean, if you're creating a track on Trials Rising and you're getting 1 million downloads, that's a reward for your creative efforts. You don't need to go, oh wow, you created a track on Trials Rising. Here's, I don't know, some bunny rabbit fucking helmet. Or Halo Infinite. Here's a helmet for your Spartan with cat ears on it. I see this as one reason that there haven't been as many major game-changing content that were user-generated as one would expect. There's been a lot of game-changing, but there's been a lot of, like, you've got Take-Two that are removing mods because they want to remaster and enhance things themselves and make more money. You had, was it MGM that took some James Bond level that took thousands of hours or hundreds of hours for someone to create. They removed it due to a copyright issue when the person had simply put it into like a Far Cry title. There wasn't any commercial side to it or anything, but they just go, boom, don't want it in the game. It even happened with some Nike shoes. I think they were the ones from Back to the Future and one of the Trials games. They were created by someone, the ones that auto-strapped themselves up. They were created, and then all of a sudden they're removed off the marketplace. Boom, copyright. There is game-changing content, but it's hard for people to make because they're making it by themselves. It's taking them hours and hours of hard work and dedication, and the company fucks them over. The people that create the games are the ones that should be making the game-changing content, but they don't get the time or the resources because the CEOs are too busy doing shit like this. With advances in token economies, users will be provided with explicit incentives, thereby resulting not only in greater consistency in their motivation, but also creating a tangible upside to their creative efforts. I believe that this will lead to more people devoting themselves to such efforts and to greater possibilities of games growing in exciting ways. So please explain how someone spends 500 hours on, let's just say for pure example, Marvel's Avengers. I don't know, they get a new helmet for Iron Man. How does that grow the game in an exciting way? Especially knowing Square Enix and what they do with pieces of gear and stuff, like their art in the games. All they do is just sell different skins that are recoloured for stupid amounts of money. Now they're going to just involve way more money with those products. And it's also they can make a little cut of the profit. They've already got like £2,500, like $3,200 worth of skins in Avengers. And look how it's going. The game's got like 2,000 fans worldwide across every fucking platform. It carries on to say, from having fun to earning to contributing, a wide variety of motivations will inspire people to engage with games and connect with one another. Yeah, because you're going to sit there and say to your mate, oh, I just spent 2,000 hours in the game to get this new fucking pair of gloves. Your mate's going to say you're a twat, go outside. Go see some fucking sunlight. It is blockchain-based tokens that will enable this. So apparently blockchain technology and token technology in video games is going to bring people together and allow them to connect with one another and inspire people to engage. No, it's not. No, it is not. And the fact that a single human can think of something like that, Ubisoft are under fire from their own developers. Their own developers are saying this is just to milk more money. Their own developers are going against the company that they fucking work for. Yet more and more AAA companies are doing this. Next, we're going to see EA with FIFA. You're going to have players, certain players that are NFTs. You want Ronaldo? 100 grand. You want Messi? 80 grand. Like stupid shit like that. Oh wait, no. They're not doing it all money-based. You're going to be rewarded for your UGC and your time spent and all that sort of stuff. So you play this game for 2,000 hours, you get Cristiano Ronaldo. But then you play for 2,000 hours, and by the time you've sunk that many hours into the game, the next fucking one's out, and it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, some of them are going to carry on across other titles, but it's not the way games work. You can't get like a Ghost Recon Breakpoint helmet and go and use it in the Division 2. The games don't merge like that. A lot of games don't even have cross-play. You can't even play with people on other platforms. Yet they think that doing this is going to allow them to, like, for people to be able to take their stuff across all different games in the franchise. Imagine you're standing there playing Just Dance and you're dressed up like a fucking military character. Like something stupid like that. By designing viable token economies into our games, we will enable self-sustaining game growth. That's all they want. The rest of this article, there's some of it, like I've highlighted the parts that I'm going to read out. There's some of it I've just completely skipped over. But the entire thing is bullshit. That's all they want to do. The only important part of this article is when they mention a couple of times, we will enable self-sustaining game growth. The games will grow themselves apparently from all these NFTs. It is precisely this sort of ecosystem that lies at the heart of what I refer to as decentralized gaming, and I hope that this becomes a major trend in gaming going forward. If we refer to the one-way relationship where game players and game providers are linked by games that are finished products as centralized gaming, to contrast it with decentralized gaming, then incorporating decentralized games into our portfolio in addition to centralized games will be a major strategic theme for us starting in 2022. The basic and elemental technologies to enable blockchain games already exist, and there has been an increase in the societal literacy and acceptance of crypto assets in the past few years. We will keep a close eye on societal shifts in this space while listening to the many groups of users that populate it and ramp up our efforts to develop a business accordingly with an eye to potentially issuing our own tokens in the future. So if you're going to listen to the many groups of users that are going to populate your titles and stuff, your games, and everything involved with all these NFTs, listen to the group that tell you you're a fucking moron for thinking this is a good idea. Listen to that group. Don't sit there and have a meeting with some of the other executives at your company and sit there and go, oh, this is trending. I think this is a really good idea. Going to make us a load of money. Look what happened with Avengers. You lost 50 million. Look at what happened with Ubisoft. They made $400 in like 2 weeks or something like that. I think they sold like 15 NFTs. The whales, the NFT fans, people don't give a shit. Video games should not have NFTs in any way, shape or form. All it's done is caused backlash, and that's not going to stop. It's going to get worse. These CEOs are seeming to think that it's going to piss people off to begin with, but then they'll warm to the idea and it will become the norm. So it's up to us as gamers to tell these companies to fuck off. Take their NFTs and shove them up their arseholes. Do not let this become the normal thing in games, because games will go to shit. This article ends with, our lifestyles have changed. It talks about the pandemic, I've skipped that part. I believe that the new technologies and concepts that I have discussed and the changes that they bring to our business environment will provide us with numerous opportunities to enrich people's lives through digital entertainment, which is at the core of our business. This at the same time means that we are seeing the beginnings of further leaps forward for our business. We remain committed to creating, developing and providing world-class content. So world-class that you can't even break 1,500 players in a 24-hour window on Steam for your Avengers game. Marvel's Avengers can't break 1,500 players in a 24-hour window. That's how world-class it really is. And then it ends with the last sentence, and we will contribute to the happiness of society and its people by offering new forms of excitement. Well, these NFTs are not excitement. And I can't say it like any more times. Last time I'm going to say it. Nobody gives a fucking shit about these NFTs. Stop being so stupid. Put your resources, put your time into developing good, fun video games. That form of entertainment. The reason people purchase your products and keep your company running. Honestly, at this stage, Ubisoft, the company that makes Stalker 2, tried doing it. Square Enix are doing it. You're going to see loads more AAA companies doing this. You will definitely see EA. Activision will jump on the bandwagon. There will be so many of them. And it's all because the CEOs don't fucking listen to anything they're told. When you're sat in a meeting with the people that create your games, listen to them. Developers themselves are saying that this is not a good idea. It's not going to improve the quality of video games in any way at all. But that was a look at a New Year's letter from the president of Square Enix. And we're going to leave the video there. So let me know your thoughts and opinions and stuff in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.